Greetings, I'm Demonac, and it's arena time. Well, it's not my top choice for the arena, but I feel like I haven't done Rogue in a fair while. Probably because it's not my top choice for the arena. But, here we go. And we start out with a Sludge Belcher. The guy that every constructed deck has two of. That's usually a good sign. He's actually super, super good. Clockwork Gnome is pretty solid. Shiv would also help me get cards faster, but I think I'm going to take the Clockwork Gnome. It still also sort of gets me cards faster, but in case I get mech synergy, that would be good. I'm not going so far as to get the Zombie Chow. As much as he's great first turn, he's still not the best. I don't like Dalaran Mage that much, and I didn't take the Shiv, so we're going to take the Fen Creeper. He's overpriced, but at least when he comes out, he does something. Yeah, Ancient Brewmaster is pretty good. The Wind Fury Harpy is pretty good for fatalizing your opponent, but we're going to take the Brewmaster. He's a little more flexible. Goblin Auto Barber is pretty sweet. Defias Ringleader. War Golem. I'm going to need some fat things, but I'd rather it not be War Golems. I think there was someone else in that last row I would have preferred. You really suck. You are counterproductive, so I guess we're taking the Jungle Panther. It's stealthy, that's kind of rogue style. Sap is a really strong card when used properly. I never take it because I want to kill things. I don't want to give them back to my opponent. I don't want to be in a situation where the thing I need to sap has like a battle cry, which is just like making the problem worse. There are lots of situations where I have been screwed by the enemy sap, but I'm going to take Assassin's Blade because it can kill a lot of things in the arena potentially. So Betrayal is really good. But so are these guys. I think the Mech Warper, I have two other mechs, even if one's just a Clockwork Gnome. The Coin Mech Warper Clockwork Gnome start, very good. Betrayal is so good at killing things too, but I think I'm going to take the Mech Warper. See what happens. Weird, rare row this is. I don't know if I have any. I don't have anything to boost the Nerubian Egg yet, but I'm still inclined to go for it because it's pretty obnoxious. The Exorcist is going to be a 3/4 taunt if my opponent has one Death Rattle. The Death Rattles are pretty common though. Let's take this. It doesn't require combos that I may not get. It requires combos that are based on my opponent, but it's stronger than the Egg is with no combo usually. Well, these guys suck, so we'll take Lord of the Arena as one of our fat contingent. Conceal is kind of strong, not my favorite, though. I'm going to take the Shiv. It can potentially kill something, mostly it can draw me more cards. We're going to go for the Sharp Sword Oil because it can work out crazy. And Salty Dog is kind of fat. He's not very tough. The Sap or the Ironbeak Owl, both removal. I'm going to take the Owl. I'm pretty fond of the Owl, and I just have an unreasonable dislike of Sap. Sap is good. I just don't like it. So, tough. Another Ringleader? Or a Murloc Ringleader? Or a Piloted Shredder. I do have the Mech Warper. I guess the Shredder is so potentially strong, it just never feels good to me. Here's a weird row, too. Preparation for the almost no spells I have to prepare, and they're all cheap anyway. That's no good. Kidnapper is like, I don't like him the same reason I don't like Sap. So he's got a built-in Sap, but he's overpriced as hell for that built-in Sap. Although it does let you return friendly minions, which is interesting, but not usually what you need. So I guess we'll take the Wrench. I do have some mechs. It's not a great card, but it's there. This is not a great row, but we're going to take the Sprint. It's going to give us some potential late-game comeback power. I don't like you guys. Annoyatron is pretty solid, actually. Farseer. I mean, I could Shiv my Worgen if I had a Worgen. Can I keep him alive? I have some taunt. I might try the Worgen, I guess. Oh, so we have Bad Giant #2, or Murloc War Leader, which is kind of dumb, or the Amazing Recombobulator. I don't know if I've got the best guys for him, but it doesn't matter, he's just awesome. Dragonlink Mechanic actually gives me another mech, although I could have had a billion shivs. I don't think I want a billion shivs, especially with no spell power. I turned down a couple of spell power because they were crappy spell power guys. I could take another shiv. I mean, it does help me get to the good cards faster, and it does damage things, but no, we're going to take the mechanic. Take another mech warper or the Trog. So I have a decent number of mechs now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need mechs for this. 5. Oh, he doesn't. Mech warper doesn't help for her, even though she technically has a mech. So I don't know if the mech warper is going to be better. The Trog is more like a Yeti. I think I need that more, honestly. I have a number of weapons for the Dread Corsair. He might be cheaper, but on the other hand, Ascension Shieldmaster is just going to have more stats, so I think I'd rather take him anyway. I will usually, I mean, I can always rig it so that I get the pirate for like 3 mana, so he's bears, and sometimes he might be free, but usually it's not going to work out that well. Do I take the hated Stormpike Commando, who does actually kill stuff, even though he's vastly inferior to those Goblin, like the 3/3 random 4 damage guys? I'd much rather have one of them, which is why they're rare and he's a base piece of crap. Raging Worgen is pretty strong, is just often doesn't work. I could also take the Sinister Strike. I don't have that much combo. I mean, target that. It could trigger the Sharp Sword Oil, though. And it does help finish my opponent. But it's only 3 damage to the guy for 1 card. I guess we're taking Crap Mando. Nah, screw it. I don't like him. Raging Worgen instead. Raging Worgen is very powerful. He never works out for me. And this deck is not designed to help him work out, which is another strike against him. I don't have enough spells, especially cheap spells, for the Auctioneer, so I guess we'll go Blade Master. He's just kind of aggro. Cogmaster is pretty good in a real mech deck, but I'm only a half-assed mech deck, so he's often going to be a 1/2 for my card. The 1/2 for 1 isn't the big deal. It's the fact that my card is probably only going to give me a 1/2. So we're going to take the Fairy Dragon. And my spell damage contribution up to this point is 1 shiv, so that is not particularly valuable. However, I have a fair amount of 2-cost sort of aggro guys. I don't know that I really need these ones that much. I think that 4 mana 4/4 might be more helpful. Maybe not. No, you know what? I'm not getting that much with hardly any spell power. These guys are probably more efficient. So let's take the Rivercroft. Well, this really would push me again. Spell damage doesn't help me. This doesn't help me. I guess we're gonna take this stupid Cheese Mystic. Probably win all kinds of games because of her and make me feel even worse somehow. Piece of cheesy whatever. We're definitely taking the Eviscerate though, because it can kill things. And you are so inferior to the other guy. Oh my god. Look at this. I can give my opponent their best guy probably. I mean, the Deathlord, I like him, sort of. I like him as a card that exists. I've used him before. Not in, like, a random arena deck full of random stuff that's not going to take real advantage of him. Goldlight Oracle also helps my opponent. Matter Bomber, every single thing here can potentially help my opponent more than me. I guess we're going to take the stupid Suicide Bomber. For political reasons, they can't make that his name. But he is really the Suicide Bomber because playing him is friggin' suicidal. As usual, I'm not too happy with this particular deck. This is not blowing me away as, like, awesome rogueness. It's got a couple of weapon cards to help you make better use of the Tinker's Sharp Sword Oil. It has some okay mech synergy, but nothing really relevant. Actually, it doesn't have that much synergy. It just has, like, a Mech Warper. That's, like, it. Mech Warper and the Wrench, which is less synergy and more, it's bad unless I have a mech. You're too expensive. You're pretty late gamey, but I guess I'm going to keep you and just waste you at this point. Now, I've got a fair number of cheap things in here. I'm going to pitch one of these guys to save for later. He's better just as his stats. As nice as the recombobulating is, we'll go for better starting hand. Okay. Yes, you are. Come on. I don't know. This deck just feels like it has a lot of basic, not very impressive stuff in it. Annoyatron's pretty good. He's annoying. Well, I don't need him yet, though, so let's go for the slightly more aggro approach. Crocolisk. I like the six-legged animals in World of Warcraft. I think it's a cool sort of theme.
I wonder.
There must be more of them. Six-legged animals are cool. Okay, Grizzlytron. So, it's probably safer in case a secret comes out. I think the plan is going to be it's going to be a waste of my turn overall, but we're just going to Stabify him. Take him out with Buddy. What is he even saying? Tell me in the comments. I don't know the names of the places. He's not saying like Fort Nomragon. Or if he is, he's not saying it very well. Sounds more like he's saying Pentagon. Maybe that's a place in newer expansions. I'm not so familiar with it. Like, I would like to know what he is actually saying. It's actually been bothering me a bit. Okay, you blew up my crap dagger. Hopefully that's going to come back to bite you in the ass later. So I could hit for 2 and then recombobulate my guy. That would be pretty random. Not necessarily what I want. Probably just going to go with Annoyatron. Not very exciting. I guess I could have stabbed that and then shivved it. But if possible, I'd rather it take 1 damage from Annoyatron and then shiv it. So that I don't have to take 3 to the face. That's a fair amount of damage for getting rid of a relatively innocuous minion. Although if he Blessing of Kings it, I will regret that it exists.
I wonder.
If I could, as a later game play, if I could steal a secret with this and then recombobulate her, that would be pretty awesome. Although it's not guaranteed to yield better results. So this is a 3-attack weapon, which is pretty decent. I think what we're going to do is shiv this guy and see if I draw something useful. Tink. Hey, that's pretty good. So, yeah, probably play him. Alternatively, I mean, I could reverse this guy and kill him with my croc. I would still lose my croc, so it's not really doing me that much good. So, no, let's just go ahead. Hello, indeed.
Here we go.
There's not much point saving the dagger. I might not have the mana for it, but since I have a better weapon in my hand, I might want to waste it by replacing it with something anyway. Are you choosing to kill the weaker one? That's really strange and suspicious. What's coming? Humility. Hey, you know what? This looks like a good situation for the Recombobulator. Although, I could play the Sludge Belcher. That would also be good. Recombobulator is not going to leave me with enough mana to do anything. You have to delay this. It would be really nice to recombobulate him into something decent, especially since I could hit her for 1 first and then do it, and it's funny, but no, I think... Actually, I don't think I'm going to save him long enough for that. I think it makes more sense to flip him with the reversing switch and have this guy out. So we're going to do that. That's pretty solid. The sword alone doesn't kill him. And of course, he's such a crazy death machine that he spawns another decent, obnoxious card out of him, even when he dies. What you really want is a secret.
I've got a huge card.
Okay, now you can sort him. Consider him sorted. Or sorted, depending on how you pronounce it. It is all a sordid state of affairs. You did play a secret! Aww. How quaint.
The light does not
It
discriminate.
may not be the best play right now. I don't know. What secret did I get? Avenge? Cool. That's cool. I like that. I don't think I'm going to recombobulate her right now. I'd rather recombobulate her after she attacks or something. So I guess we're going to stab you. Now, of course, the drawback is he knows what my secret is. But the main thing is, I drink your milkshake. This is really frustrating. Probably had players for that bench. Now he does, again, he knows what to do about it, so he's probably got a good plan to deal with the giant Kazan Mystic. That doesn't look like a plan. So she's so big, I'm probably not going to want to recombobulate her. I'm just guessing. Well, I could auto-barber this up to a 2-attack dagger, or I could play this, auto-barber it, it would be 4-attack. Wow. That would take, like, my whole turn.
I wonder.
Leave her vulnerable. Because I could hit for 7 and play the Lord of the Arena, who would presumably block out some of this junk. I could do that and still, like, silence this. And I could actually, since I got way more hit points, I could actually stab this guy. It hurts, but I could do it. Her being a 7/5 is pretty beefy. I should probably work with that.
The gates are open.
Yeah.
Here we go. Light it up.
I'm going to go for the kill more than... I could kill this and have board control, but she'd be down to 2 hit points and 1 consecrate would screw me. Hey, like that. I think it still worked. But I got 7 damage out of the deal this way. And I think my opponent might be in trouble. Possibly. So, 2, 3... It's not going to work out very well for the mana, but that's okay. We're going to do it. Boing. 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 I think I'm just going to focus on stabbing my opponent to death. Yeah, board control, subtlety, blah, 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 blah. Now, I've got 3 more attacks coming at 4 damage, unless he's got another ooze. I don't have a lot of crazy battlecry guys for the recombobulator, though. You know what he'd be awesome with? Those goblin bombardiers, or whatever they are. Grenadiers, whatever. The 3/3 who flame cannons for 5 mana. You play him, and then recombobulate him into another 5-cost minion, which could be something awesome, and it's hard for it not to be something better than just a naked 3/3. So, you're in a rough place, buddy, I get that. What do you want to do? Oh, sword, that's going to gain you some life. Gonna kill all my stuff. Boo. I think you're losing the sword wars, though. That is a lot of artillery, quite literally. I mean, it's not the best artillery that's necessarily going to help you that much. I think I should focus on stabbing my opponent to death. Now, do I want the Raging Worgen, or do I want to recombobulate the Raging Worgen? I'm going to keep him a Raging Worgen.
You might feel a little tingle.
Must resist the temptation to activate the dagger. You don't understand how, like... I don't play with weapons in my rogue deck. I haven't for a long time, and I do play rogue pretty often. Wow, that's annoying, and yet somehow failed to do the job. Although, no, you're still pretty dead. No, when I have mana left, it's hard to resist flipping this thing, though. Seriously.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, it would overwrite my good weapon, and it would be unfortunate. Yeah, well, I'd like to troll him by playing that, but since it would blow up my current weapon and it would only have one attack and not win me the game, that would be bad. So, we managed to pull through. I was definitely running out of steam unless I picked up a sprint or something. But still, pretty decent first game, and we're just going to see how everything works out with this deck next time. Put the hammer down on that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Demonet Games for more Hearthstone Arena and other gaming videos.